Good day, folks, and welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic. I have a special treat for you today. I have a throwback clip from Donald Trump, and I also have one from Bernie Sanders, and I'm going to parallel these two together. You're going to find out some very interesting things, because the reality is the media right now is trying to tell us that we need to be panicked about tariffs, and we need to be very concerned about sending all these illegals back home because, heck, who's going to pick your cotton, basically? The Democrats have always been the party of slavery. I mean, the party of KKK. So Donald Trump tweeted something out yesterday, and he said the United States has a chance to do something that should have been done decades ago. Don't be weak. Don't be stupid. Don't be a panicking. A new party based on weak and stupid people. Sounds like the Democrat Party from before. It doesn't sound that new, Donald. Be strong, courageous, and patient, and greatness will be the result. So, what's he talking about? Well, you look at these tariffs and you see these markets. Now, this morning, the Dow is up again. So, there's going to be a lot of volatility in this. But the reality is that we will come out on the other side of this better because our American manufacturing has been gutted. And what Trump is doing is making a play to bring more jobs back here and bring them back home. So I have a clip by Bernie Sanders that will cover this, and you're going to see how disingenuous he is, following that up with a clip from Donald Trump in 1995. Donald Trump sounds exactly the same.
Open borders.
Borders.
That's a Koch brothers proposal. The idea, of course, I mean, that's a right-wing proposal which says essentially there is no United States.
But it would make a lot of global poor richer, wouldn't it?
And it'd make everybody in America poor. Then you're doing away with the concept of a nation state. And I don't think there's any country in the world which believes in that. If you believe in a nation state, or in a country called the United States, or UK, or Denmark, or any other country, you have an obligation, in my view, to do everything we can to help poor people. What right-wing people in this country would love is an open border policy. Bring in all kinds of people who work for $2 or $3 an hour. That would be great for them. I don't believe in that. I think we have to raise wages in this country. I think we have to do everything that we can to create the millions of jobs. Do you know what youth unemployment in the United States of America today? If you're white, a white kid, high school graduate, 33%, a Hispanic, 36%, African-American, 51%. You think we should open the borders and bring in a lot of low-wage workers? Or do you think maybe we should try to get jobs for those kids? So I think from a moral responsibility, we've got to work with the rest of the industrialized world to address the problems of international poverty. But you don't do that by making people in this country even poorer.
Okay, two things. One, Bernie's right. Okay. Two, Bernie's full of crap. And what do I mean by that? Well, here, I'm going to show you. This is a video clip of him answering a question from Brett Baer about if he would close down the borders if he had to because of coronavirus.
If you had to, would you close down the borders?
No.
And here's an image of Bernie Sanders with this. Is that a Mein Kampf Heil Hitler thing? Anyways, I'm just saying, no, it's actually just his hand up acknowledging that he thinks that illegal border crossing should be decriminalized, along with every other Democrat that was running for president. This is back in 2019. But I'm going to take you now to this clip from Donald Trump because he's been consistent. I mean, like, he is the same then as he is now. He has always believed in these issues. That's why he takes the action he does, even though it could have political backfire, even though it could have this backlash, and he could look bad for a little while. He believes in the end his thinking will win and his ideas will work out.
I couldn't believe this last auto deal as an example. Here we are, we're sitting there. It's restricted in Japan. Everything's restricted. We're sitting, they can't come in. And all of a sudden, this country folds. We do the old fold now. I've never seen it.
That isn't the way the press reported it. Well, the press reported it that we had a deal.
And then all of a sudden it turned out that the deal turned out that it was not a good deal for us. And we had all the cards. I mean, it's not like we didn't have the cards. It's like, keep your cars out of here until you open up. That's all. Keep your cars out. And then the first hour was like, oh, we made this wonderful deal. After about 15 seconds after that, people realized we got duped. I just don't understand it.
What's wrong with us? I mean, I guess they said, well, this would hurt American car dealers.
You know, what's wrong with us? I don't know. They're afraid politically to make a little bit of a tough stand. That wasn't even a tough one. That was a no-brainer. You would have had the Japanese cars out for 19 and a half seconds, and you would have won every single point. It's the most incredible failure in negotiation that I've seen. But it happens all the time. I just don't understand it. So I would take a much harder stand. I'd take a much more difficult stand, I would say. Make a couple of enemies. I think I'd make a lot of friends, ultimately.
If the United States government took a firmer stand with foreign countries, would we be better off, or are we so much now a part of the community of nations that we can't really afford to offend anybody?
I think we'd be better off, and I think we'd be far more respected. I think the Japanese would respect us far more than they do. I don't think they have any respect for us, and they shouldn't have any respect for us because we are idiots when it comes to what's happening. I mean, look at dealing with Japan. I mean, just take a look at what's going on. I mean, they make hundreds of billions of dollars a year, and we lose money in deficits, and nothing happens. And they say, no, the Japanese are learning, and they're starting to open up. In the meantime, every second goes by, we're losing. I just think that people would have far greater respect for this country if we took a much tougher stand. It's really quite pathetic.
Even his language is consistent. I mean, Zelensky should go back and watch this. You don't have the cards, Vlad. You don't have the cards. But anyways, remember, the Democrats were, when the stock market's doing well, they try to say, like this Andrew Yang quote, the bottom 80% of Americans own 8% of the stock market wealth, and the bottom half own essentially zero. Anyone who pays attention to stock prices as a barometer of how Americans are doing is missing how most people live. And that's true, because this is a Main Street versus Wall Street issue. I find it fascinating that the Democrats, the two issues that they're freaking out about so much, deporting people and then the stock market due to tariffs, they run around and they talk about these issues. They have no connection to the American populace, these people in the mainstream media and these Democrat senators and the Republican senators and stuff too. They don't have a connection. They're out there talking about issues that they're not having to experience for themselves. I mean, they go into Congress and they have this, they get a salary of a couple $100,000 a year. They go in there, they're worth $200,000. They come out, they're worth $30 million. Something really stinks. And Donald Trump is the only one who's had the courage to take these issues on. But we have the Democrat Party outing themselves as the party of slavery because they want immigrants to pick your vegetables and build your homes, okay? And then we have them crying about the stock market turn back when the majority of Americans are just excited that gasoline prices are going down, egg prices are going down, the inflation that we were more concerned about because our money is being made worth less. We're not so concerned about the return on our investments as we are about the depreciation of our dollar. And this is what these elitist snobs do not get because they're not having to feel the effects of it. But now they are, and they're just in absolute panic mode over the fact that their stocks are backsliding. We don't care. These things were all overvalued. By making those things overvalued, they made our dollar less valuable, which affected us, the people who are actually out here having to live on normal incomes. Blows my ever-loving mind. Anyways, remember to go check out my sponsor, MyPillow. That's mypillow.com/lumberjack. The best deals going on right now, folks, on the sheets, the towels, and Mike's new energy drink, the Rev 7. I love this. This is my last can before I get my next case, so I'm kind of babying it along here. I'll use it for a workout today. It has no caffeine and has serious energy. I mean, this stuff is great. So go check it out at mypillow.com/lumberjack or call the 800 number. That's the best way to order anything at MyPillow. 1-800-568-2865, 1-800-568-2865. That will get you to the Lumberjack line so you get those special deals. We'll see you on the next episode, folks. Remember, subscribe. Peace out.